Hey, brothers and sisters, this is your boy BC. Welcome back to another Based LDS video. Finally, I'm getting comments, or in this case, comment upon my videos. And I just want to take a minute to respond to one of the comments that came in, the comment that came in this week. And the comment was on the video Rainbow Fest at DC Temple. And I thought it was an interesting comment because I wish they had some context, but maybe it's plain just what they say. And so David says, Crimea River, nobody's trying to quote unquote destroy the family. And David, I disagree. I disagree strongly, and I don't know how you do not think so. Look, they don't care about the family. They don't care. And when I say they, I mean the progressive left. It is the woke institutions that are coming to destroy the family because there is no regard for it. The Respect for Marriage Act is proof of this because it's redefining marriage and it's doing away with the nuclear traditional family. And let me be clear, when I say the traditional family, I say the family that has been crafted through the years, through God mandate. It's created in such a way to provide structure for the proper raising of kids and care for the individual in society and communities. When I think of tradition, I think not so much Fiddler on the Roof versus forms of tradition, but of tradition where we have discovered answers to important questions. And the nuclear family, a man, a wife, and children, is fundamental toward the progress of the human race. And they, the left, are actively trying to destroy that. You can go to the Black Lives Matter page, and they will tell you that the nuclear family must be destroyed. It must be done away with because of the oppression of women, especially minority women. You read feminist literature. Marriage is the oppression of women. The comments that come most strongly to me are those of like Andrea Dworkin. And I can't repeat what she said. That the normal course of intercourse, let's say, between a man and a woman, no matter how consensual, is still rape. The subjugation of women through marriage is the patriarchy in action, that women will never be allowed to progress beyond certain points. These activists are insane. The Rainbow Mafia, with their push to corrupt children through grooming in the schools, in some churches, and the open ideologies being bandied about. When I say churches, I mean you walk by any church that has the rainbow flag outside, probably has a Black Lives Matter flag. Their parishioners probably have the sign, you know, that love everyone, love all nations, love all people, love is. And these are people that do not care about the status of children. They've probably given up their children to the great sun god to prevent us from being destroyed in flaming fire, the global warming beast. So, since they've deprived themselves of having children, they would rather deprive us of having productive, traditional children that carry on the traditional values of Western civilization and culture. And I say Western civilization because it's mostly the West that has gone insane. So, David, tell me, if they're not coming for the family, why is BLM calling for the destruction of the nuclear family? Why is feminism against marriage? Why is the Rainbow Mafia trying to trans our children, open them up to sexual deviation and corruption so that they don't participate in normal sexual activity? Why? If they're not coming for the family, why is that school in Chicago hosting sex toy education and discussing the merits of spit versus lube and how to use these things? Why is a school system in Maryland pushing for LGBTQ literature to be included in classrooms and topics? Why is Pride Month more important than the Pledge of Allegiance? Why, David, and any other listening that question this, in a recent C-SPAN question and answer with members of the House on anti-LGBTQ plus violence, where members of the House were allowed to question various authorities and respected figures. Why were so many of these people on these panels pushing for parents not having the right to know what's going on with their children in schools and what they're doing to their children about their sexuality? Lisa Pocock, the director of Inside Out Youth Advisory Services, based, I believe, out of Colorado. I know she said she's in Colorado. But when a member of the House from Texas said, should parents be involved in the lives of their children as far as what they're being exposed to of LGBTQ influence, as far as should parents be involved if a child wants to start transitioning, should parents be involved if a child wants to start fill in the blank. And this woman looked at the camera and said, no, not really, because there are trusted counselors that these students have taken into confidence that advise them and guide them to making all the appropriate decisions. And she spoke to Colorado, my former state, Sodom and Gomorrah, Boulder and Denver. She spoke to the glorious example of Colorado, and that anyone over the age of 12 who wanted to begin transitioning or explore alternative sexualities could follow the advice and counsel of a trusted professional and not have the school report these things to the parents. And she was advising like 13-year-olds, come into it, embrace it. Why are parents being cut out of the loop if they're not trying to transition these youth? And please understand, when you hear that transitioned youth go on to become full, productive members of society, no, they do not. They cannot procreate. They cannot continue in the family way. Elliot Page will not be fathering children anytime soon. Men who become women will not be getting pregnant anytime soon. You can't reconstruct everything. You cannot replicate biology in that way, where we can just cross over and do whatever we want. The activists are currently pushing to have families destroyed. Now, Lisa Pocock did not say. She was asked point blank, should parents be advised? Should parents be involved in the process? And she didn't say no. She said, well, we have trusted advisors. What are those people advising? And we should doubt what they're advising. We should doubt what they're telling people. Because we know from stories out there that they're getting bad advice. There's a growing number of detrans people who have broken hearts and broken lives because they cannot return to what they used to be. This isn't you don't like it, we'll just reverse the process and you're good to go. No, you don't. Listen to Matt Walsh, What is a Woman? And the heartbreaking stories of some of these people and what they're going through with medical side effects that they were not warned about. Look at the videos from Vanderbilt University that were released about the growing profit boom in medicine, in pharma, and in psychology towards helping people to be able to transition. That's revealing. That's the love of lucre. That's the push for power and authority beyond intended means. That's domination, unrighteous domination. Unrighteous dominion. Sorry, wrong word. Unrighteous dominion. Because kids don't know any better. And so people say, well, we don't have to tell them. So tell me, David, what about this is pro-family to you? Open the paper. Turn off CNN. Close the New York Times. This information is out there, but the mainstream media is against it being pushed and made available. There are stories out there of families being broken by people who seek to be allies, active allies, in the movement to ruin families in the name of anti-capitalist, anti-heterosexual, cis-normative masculinity patriarchy. Fill in whatever blank you want to, but they don't like it, and they know if they destroy it, they gain power and authority. And that's all that is a naked power grab. That is Marxism, now neo-Marxism, in the suit of woke ideologies and social justice. I will be looking back at the talk from Elder Packer given to Correlation in I forget the year, where he named the 3 greatest enemies to the church at that time, and he was not far wrong. And it shows that the brethren saw it coming. Think of what the Proclamation of the Family said when it was put out in 95, 97, whatever it was. How simple, how basic. I remember reading it going, duh. Not so much duh anymore, is it? Women competing in men's sports. How about that hockey tournament recently where a trans woman crushed a trans man into the boards and concussed them and had to have them stretchered out because a biological male was playing a tough physical sport against a biological female. No matter what they identified as afterward, the biology mattered. And serious damage and injury was done to somebody. And hockey's my favorite sport, but the NHL was all trans men are men, trans women are women. No, they're not. You're feeding a delusion. I sympathize with people who struggle. I sympathize with the discomfort they feel. But these kids, when you're doing it to these kids, it's largely a social contagion. There's research to that effect. And then the researchers are canceled and forced to walk back if they want to continue working and getting funding. But the research is out there. The anecdotal stories from people who have transed and then tried to detrans, it's there. And these people openly adopt Marxist ideologies to push their agendas. And Marx was anti-family. All of these people, Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ activists, and feminists, all adopt Marxism. Postmodernism gives life to these false anti-Christ ideologies. Anti-family is anti-Christ. If you really don't know that these things are happening, I encourage you to open up wherever news you come from, because David, you are dead wrong. They're coming for the family because that's how they get their power. Anyway, that's it for today. Leave comments, please. I've got some more videos coming out soon. I hope you will like them. Love you. Thank you. Talk to you later. Peace.